If you do not want to miss the best moments that come out of these raw, completely unplanned conversations that I have with these very interesting people, then make sure you subscribe to this channel, PGX Clips, and press the bell icon top so that you know the next time we post. Is there any more hard robotics problems like this which are so intuitive to humans that seem like hard to solve in your field?
I think the other big one, going back to your original question, what will it take for humans and robots to live in harmony, is certainly safety, right? If I see you and you start running towards me at full speed, I can sort of gauge how long it will take you to crash into me, and I can step aside. That remains a hard robotics challenge in terms of, the reaction time, the vision. And so functional safety for humanoid robots hasn't fully been invented yet. It's something that we spend a lot of time on, because ultimately you want these robots to be cobots that live and work next to us. Today, our truck unloading robot, for example, which is a very heavy and very strong robot, because it needs the speed that is required in logistics, that is not a cobot, right? That robot has to work in a virtual cell where we create a LiDAR cell that if somebody walks through that cell, then the robot would stop. And so that's certainly a workaround, but in order for robots to be among us and live among us, we need better functional safety solutions than that.
Can we get a robot to catch a ball I throw from like 10 yards out?
Can you do what? Sorry, say one.
So like a moving object.
Yeah.
Can a moving object be tracked, captured, and then caught by a robot? Is that possible?
I think that should be possible. Our sister company, the Robotics AI Institute, the Ray Institute, they've proven that robots can throw and catch objects like that.
And can they do it multiple objects at a time, like juggling? Do you think that's possible?
I've not seen that. I've seen robots play ping pong, which seems like a very hard problem, and they're getting very good at that. So I think if you wanted to do one specific thing, these tasks are all feasible. But what you're really trying to do, and you brought this up earlier, is this generality, right? That a robot can do all kinds of different tasks.
Right.
Because I can throw you an object and you would catch it. I could probably throw you two objects and you could catch them too. All the time, all the while, I could ask you questions and you would be able to answer them. Right. So this multitasking and generality of different things, I can throw you a Coke can and I can throw you a football and you would be able to catch both. That might be a harder challenge for a robot.
You know why I think this is what hinges upon the psychological adoption of robotics for the general masses, because the kind of stuff that we are building now, and rightfully so, technology scales at a certain speed. For the factory owners, for the workers, for unions, for that kind of an supply chain, that's beautiful. But the minute the average Joe in his suburban home starts caring about it is when we have robots, and you see this with artificial intelligence, people are already stunned with what artificial intelligence is capable of. The minute we start seeing a physical embodied manifestation of that, that's future. That's what I grew up reading and watching. And so I think that's where people generally begin to care about this kind of stuff.
You're right. And I think we haven't had our ChatGPT moment in robotics yet, right? And I think it's a few years away. Sometimes you see on television and on YouTube that people claim that by next year we'll all have humanoid robots in our home. That is certainly not going to be the case, right? These machines are too expensive and too dangerous for that. Our hypothesis is that today we're in this industrial area of robotics, right? Industrial area because we have purpose-built robots that do one thing very well, right? Our truck unloading robot is very good at that one particular job. Our industrial inspection robot is very good and better at a human at that one particular job. But the next phase, before we go march into people's homes, is probably the service era, where there's still an operator nearby, and maybe one operator takes care of 50 robots, but somewhere there's an operator nearby. Maybe the environments are a little bit more structured, because maybe it's a shopping mall, maybe it's a hotel, maybe it's a restaurant. So these environments are not 100% unstructured. There's a little bit more structure, but we're getting much closer to the end consumer. So the consumer will start to interact with autonomous mobile robots in the next 5 years, As a matter of fact, in Asia, that's already the case. If I step out of the airplane in Incheon Airport in South Korea, there's immediately 2 robots that greet me and want to carry my luggage, right? And so that service era is already there in Asia, and I think that's going to come to the rest of the world very fast. And once we've mastered that, we're a little bit closer to the humans. We have less operators per robot. I think then we've earned the right to walk into people's homes and live among us.
I had a black pill moment. You know what black pill means in the internet culture?
No.
So, you know red pill, white pill?
Yeah,
So
of course.
red pill basically means I got known a truth that changed my life.
Yes.
Blue pill is I'm now conforming to reality.
Yes.
White pill is I saw something that encouraged me.
Yeah.
And then black pill is I saw something that shocked me or
Yeah.
jerked me, right?
Yeah.
And so I saw a video about Chinese robotics.
Yeah.
And as Indians, we are very fascinated by China. It's a power much closer to us than America, so we
Yeah.
keep track. And I was watching it, and it was talking about something very similar, about how we will have personalized robots in X amount of years at home,
Yeah.
this and that. And I'm sure it's easier to claim it on a video on the internet than it is to build it by a lot. I'm not rushing to say in 10 years we'll have that. But if I track back 30, 40 years, and I look at when my dad was 20, they maybe had landline phones, but the evolution of it, the curve of it, they could not have imagined in their wildest dreams we'll have screens that operate the whole universe, right? It's just such a different world. What is it? The computer on my mobile is stronger than any computer that worked in Houston that sent,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yes.
so it's such a crazy arc overall. I feel like the crazy arc is maybe 20 years away, if not 10. But we're going to walk into a future that men like yourself, women like, you guys will build that is just going to, it's fascinating. We have barely scratched the surface with this clip. If you want to know all the fun stuff that happened in this conversation, you've got to go to our main channel. Click now.